We're live.
Oh, how you
Hey,
doing?
good, bro. What's up?
Just checking out my Elder Wand here that I broke.
Is that
But
real?
yeah, I got it from the Harry Potter world. It's like the actual
Oh,
one.
shoot. Look at that.
It's
That's
really cool.
dope. Right on,
I
man.
broke it during a recording with JC, so that was I threw it on the ground. I saw it break, and I was just like,
Dude, you can't break the Elder Wand.
"Dang, man!" Yeah, well, Voldemort did, but
That's
like,
true. That's
I'm
true.
Voldemort.
Yeah, true.
What a way to open it up, you know?
Yeah, that's a strong intro right there. That is a power lead right there. We were just talking about retcons, I
Oh,
think. Is
the
that what you're saying?
retcons.
Yes,
Okay.
the infamous retcon. Now everyone's like,
So
what the heck is that? But
everybody, let me
yeah,
explain. So
yeah.
retcon is basically a rewrite of something, and we were talking about the retcon of zombies. Okay, so DLC5, the infamous, the one and only since not World at War. It was Black Ops 1. DLC5 was always been like, oh my God, is it happening? Is it
Black
not
Ops
happening?
1?
Yeah, Black Ops 1 was when it started because the reason why DLC 5 originated was in World at War, everyone's like, DLC 4. Where's
Yeah.
DLC 4? And Kino is like DLC 4 of World at War. So then they kind of brought it over to Black Ops 1 and they were like, DLC 4? How about DLC 5? You know? And that's just kind of always been there, you know?
Well, dude,
So
DLC 4 was supposed to be Area 51
yeah,
and
yeah.
World at War.
World at War, dude. Like
Yeah, and then they
it's
pushed it all the way through 2 years later to Moon.
so this is my biggest issue. If BO3 releases a DLC 5, right? Everybody for the next game is going to be like, "Where's DLC 6?" And it's just going to keep going. It's just going to be this like mysterious thing that everybody's always going to want to know about. And it's always going to piss me off, man, because like for the past couple of years I've just been like it's not happening. Like it's just not happening. No. Like but BO3, it's got me a little bit like questionable. There's a lot of stuff that's been like coming out like on the comics, which is like kind of a weird way. Like, what do you think about the comics, Pat? Like, I haven't really read into them.
I haven't, honestly, man, I haven't read a single, like, second of the comic, a single page. I haven't listened to any YouTuber even talk about them. Honestly, I didn't
Yeah.
even know that they came out. I feel like
Oh,
they did.
shit.
Well, I mean, like, I know now, but when they
Yeah.
dropped, I didn't find out for a couple of weeks until I saw Mr. Raffle Waffles had made a video on it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like number one, they didn't do a very good job of marketing the fact that they were gonna do this.
That I think that was intentional though, because I
Yeah.
think what Blundell was trying to do with these comics, like the first two, from what I've seen and from what I've heard from people, they were really just stale. Like they were just about the transit crew kind of originating and going through different places. Like it wasn't really exciting. And then the
That's the
third
problem,
one,
man. Is no one cares about the transit crew.
yeah. Like the third one was where all the like it got really weird. Like for some reason, the transit crew were holding like Black Ops 3 weapons and they randomly stumbled across a room with like Ted, origin staff inside of it, the golden rod, like just a bunch of weird stuff. And I think what Blundell's trying to do with these comics is basically, like we said at the beginning, just kind of erase Jimmy Zielinski from the picture. Like, just get rid of him. Like, that's the main thing Blundell's
Yeah.
always been trying to do. Like, as soon as he got into the picture of Black Ops 2, he's just been trying to get rid of Jimmy Zielinski, get rid of his perks, get rid of Vulture Aid, every single thing. And, like, we're seeing it here yet again. So that's why, like, like with the new loading screens, he's changing them. He's getting rid of what Zielinski wanted to do. Like that's the main thing. I think
Well,
that's so funny. Like,
yeah. I
it's
mean,
like,
he
goddamn.
already erased Black Ops 1, right? He
Mhm.
he just. I mean, basically he's like, if I blow up the moon, Black Ops 1 doesn't matter. Like you can have
Yeah, yeah.
Call of the Dead and Ascension and Shangri-La. You can do everything. It's like if I blow up that moon, none of that is gonna go down. And then
Exactly.
and then you think he's gonna just try to? Well, how does he erase the train? Yeah, because he's already basically stopped the whole transit crew events from happening. He's
Mhm.
basically by one single act of blowing up the moon, basically stopped everything.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
think
what do you think he's trying to do now?
like the thing is, I think the reason why I'm a believer of DLC 5 is because Blundell wants to retcon all of these maps. He wants to basically take what Zielinski has made. It's kind of like a lazy way of doing a story. He's basically taking somebody else's work and just taking the little bitty details and be like, let's change that. Let's fit this in with this. And that's how, like, that's the reason why I think it's coming out, because I feel like DLC4 Revelations was a satisfying ending, but we don't have the right knowledge for it to be the satisfying ending. So, which is why I feel that if a DLC5 releases with remasters, or if it's every single map Zombies has ever created with a remaster, it's basically going to be saying, you know what, this is the real DLC4. This is the real DLC, because this is what we're trying to explain to get you to the climax, to get you to the ending, and for you to enjoy. And that's why I'm a firm believer. Like, why bother remaking the loading screens? Just to screw with us? Like, no. Like, there's obviously something bigger that he's not telling us, and I think that's just the easiest way to explain it. Like,
yeah. Well, even more than that, I think all you have to do is look at the money, and basically just look at where Activision is right now. They had a really successful game, which was Black Ops 3, and right now you're just at the point where, okay, Infinite Warfare is shit. I'm sorry, but it's just shit, and no one's playing it.
Just bad.
No one's buying anything. No one's buying the DLCs. We're a company. We need to make money. How do we make money? Oh, that game that did really well a year ago, maybe we should just bring more content out for that.
Yeah.
And the thing, when you start talking about that from that perspective, is the thing that you've been saying for years, man, is like, I want a dedicated Call of Duty that just updates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
I've always wanted that, and that's
the problem with that is I can't see them doing that, because they make so much money by making a new Call of Duty every single year. I don't think they'd ever do it.
So for my next video, I'm talking about DLC5, and one of the biggest comparisons I wanted to make is Overwatch to Zombies. Now, I know everybody's like, oh my god, Overwatch is a different game, but hear me out here. From what I've researched on Overwatch, Overwatch has loot boxes, essentially, and you can buy them, and you can get just cosmetic items that don't affect the gameplay at all. So it's very unrelated to Activision, yet Blizzard is partnered with Activision. What I found with Overwatch is that they don't do it to change the game at all, and yet in the last month, they received over $269 million in sales, which means, in microtransactions, yes, which means that they were able to outdo a Call of Duty in microtransactions without being scummy about it. I think that was from 2016, 269 million is about a fourth of what Black Ops 3 made in Liquid Divinium. Now, don't quote me on that, because I know microtransactions is about $1 billion a year. That's kind of the sales numbers towards it.
For Call of Duty?
Yeah, for Call of Duty.
Okay.
But I think that's insane that Overwatch was able to outdo them in 1 month just by releasing free DLC. Free, by the way. Free. That's a big point. And just making it that, you know what? If you want to buy skins, then go for it. And you can earn loot boxes without paying for them. It's just something you can get on the side. And I'm just so glad that Overwatch was releasing those statistics, because it just means that, you know what, Call of Duty, you could be making more money if you were smart about it, if you just didn't sell out. And that's the biggest issue of mine with Zombies, essentially.
Right. So in Overwatch, does it work in the way that is it similar to the black market where you hit something and it's random? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's that same system. They just don't have the extra weapons, basically.
Yep.
They bring out new free characters. They bring out new updates. I know there was that Halloween update you guys were playing.
Yeah.
There was was there a Christmas update?
There's a Christmas update. Yeah. They always, and that's the other thing. They update this game. Like, Pat and I were actually having a talk with the Z House, and we were like, imagine if Shadows of Evil got a Christmas update, and it was all Christmassy with lights everywhere, like Crash this year with Modern Warfare Remastered. Would that be insane? I think that'd be so cool. Like, it'd just be...
Dude, a Christmas Shadows of Evil would be perfect.
I know, dude.
Could you imagine a big Christmas tree? Right, imagine right in the middle of the tram, that like little that circle. Make a Christmas tree right there. That would be so sick.
Dude, imagine if the tram was like a sleigh. Like, it was just a sleigh with Santa on it. Like a robotic Santa. Like, that'd be so cool.
Christmas hats.
Yeah, dude.
The Shadow Man, instead of a top hat, he has a Santa hat on.
Like, this is just one of the super small things that, like, Overwatch does better in zombies. Like, they make it so just these little small things add so much more to the gameplay. And, like, when you look at zombies, the only seasonal update they ever added to BL3 was Valentine's Day. Like, what a random day. And it was just, like, for shooting zombies and you get little hearts out of them. Like, what? Yeah. And it was so hard to find.
If they had done that consistently, every single thing, there's a new, it'd be cool. Okay, Valentine's Day. But because, it was just the single one, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm noticing more, man, is like you have a franchise. Call of Duty is a huge one, right? And they build up and they do it their own way. And okay, this is really profitable if we do DLC. And people want zombies, so people are gonna buy more DLC. And then they start working in the supply drops. And this is like their system that they have. New game every single year. Do this. A lot of games do it. Sports games, Assassin's Creed seems to drop a lot of games.
Oh yeah.
All that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, there's like 2 games a year. They're ridiculous. But then I feel like a new game like Overwatch comes out and they do it differently. They do it more, I don't want to say ethically, but they're just cooler about it. They say, hey, here's some free content. We're going to continually update all the time. That kind of flips it upside down and people say, well, I want other games to do this because this is cooler than, oh yeah, if you want to get this gun, you got to, I mean, how much money, I know between me and you, we've spent way more money than we care to admit on gobblegums, on a virtual gumball that gets you stuff in a like I can't hold that. I can't do anything with that. It's just there. You know what I mean? It's just it's ridiculous.
Have, like excess of gobblegums that I still don't use. Like the what is it? The cookbook really helped out with getting rid of all these gobblegums I don't use, but it's just like I still don't need them. Like, it's just like this complete excess. And that's why I don't know, man. Like, one thing, I know I'm going back to Overwatch a lot, but this is one thing I wish zombies did, and it really aggravates me when Blundell says things like he doesn't like unfinished game modes, but he doesn't integrate something like this. So what Overwatch does, right? With every update, they add a seasonal game mode. So the most recent one was Capture the Flag with the Chinese New Year. And it was just a game mode to see how people like it, if they enjoy inside the game. And this is the biggest thing that just drives me insane with zombies, because it's like, Blundell, why did you not do this? Why did you not try to put in grief every couple seasons in this map? Okay, you guys don't like grief? Next season, let's try turned. Let's try a different game mode. Like, they had all these different types of game modes in the files for BO2 that were never released, but they just didn't keep going. And I don't get that. Like, why is that more important than the story, which is their main focus? Like,
yeah, man,
drives me insane. It's just so dumb. Like, they had so many chances.
The story was so good, man. Like, I mean, it was like, that was the driving force. And at the time during it, you were so hyped for that DLC because what's going to happen next? Oh my God, that just happened. Well, what's going to happen next, right? Oh my God, we traveled so, and then we finally get to it. But it was this huge climax for nothing, really. And like you said, looking back, man, I think their thing was they just were scared to take risks because we have this super perfect system. We've done this for three games now. This is our 4th. We know exactly what to do. We're just going to make a really good map. Here's your map. That's it. Because that's what they've always done, right? Yeah, and after the Easter egg, I mean, if you think about the hype for those maps before the Easter egg is solved and after, dude, there's no comparison, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Once the Easter egg is over, it's done, right?
Yeah.
So,
and you can totally see it with Revelations for sure. Like when Noah was streaming, huge amounts of people coming on and checking it. And as soon as the ending was solved, just down, everybody gone. Like,
dude, Noah had a peak 120,000 concurrent viewers.
I haven't even heard of that. Like,
that's
for
actually
one person.
This is off topic, but this is really sad. I saw a live stream a couple of nights ago. 100,000 viewers. You're not going to believe what it was, okay? It was a giraffe. Just
Oh yeah, I saw that, dude, on YouTube. Yes, It
100,000
was.
viewers.
No, the reason why is because it was the first time like the draft was giving birth. That's what one of my friends was telling me, and that's why everyone was like, oh, they were so hyped about it because it's
Okay.
extreme. Apparently, it's extremely rare to witness it, so that's why there were so many people. But I saw that on YouTube trending. I was like, what is this? Like the draft is just kind of like moving around.
It's eating, you know.
Yeah.
Every
It
once
was
in a
like,
while, a trainer comes in. Oh, trainer, what's gonna happen, right? But like,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Just kind of weird, but I respect that. Like it's a rare occurrence in nature, so I don't
Yeah,
know. But
yeah.
I think in terms of from what I've heard for records, the most I've ever seen a single person have on Twitch is like 160,000. And I think that was the world record. So
Is that a
for
single
no,
person?
that's one single person on
Yeah, okay.
Twitch.
Because
I
there's
think
all
it was
that
like
League of
pro game.
Legends,
Yeah.
Twitch.
Some
Oh,
pro.
dude, I wonder how many. Do you remember Twitch plays Pokemon? That
Yeah.
thing where basically people, for those that don't know, in the chat you would enter in a command and it would actually make the character in the game move. But I feel like that must have been only a couple 100,000, maybe 400,000. That sounds right for some reason.
That's still a
It's a
lot though.
That's a lot.
Like, yeah.
That was
And
a
I'm-
movement though, man.
Yeah, I don't even know how the game would like register that many people to like go up and down. Was it the majority of the votes? Is that how it worked? I'm not 100% sure. But
Well, they'd had different systems basically. So when the original was just whatever got typed in, right? So
Okay.
for every certain amount of frames, you can only input one thing. So
Right.
let's say every 30 frames, you get a new input. So like if you had 30 different inputs between those 30 frames, none of those would actually count. So
Okay,
it would
okay.
be, you know what I mean? So then they got a new system where people would vote on the next move. They call it democracy. And people hated that. They called it.
Yeah.
They did start 9. So the character would just hit start 9 times, just
Oh,
because people were like,
jeez.
screw this, we don't want it. You know what I mean? Twitch plays Pokemon was huge, man.
Jeez.
It was big. I did like 3 or 4 videos on it. They got like 500,000 views each, man. It was
Yeah,
so
I
hype.
saw it. I was like really interested. I was like, what is this? Like I have no idea. Like I'm a kind of big fan of Pokemon, but like this summer at the Z house when I see Chucky running out of his room at 5 a.m. and he's like, oh my gosh, it's a Charizard, let's go, guys. And I just see you guys already now. I'm looking over and I'm just like, what the hell? Like,
Dude,
it was just crazy.
the greasiest thing we did for that game is everyone got these apps when Pokemon Go was huge, and it was you know, you put Poke Tracker and it would show what was on, but that wasn't good enough for Chucky. Chucky needs to go deep, man. Chucky needs to go in on the Pokemon Go. So what he does, he creates a program that tracks the entire area. Basically, it's how it works is he has a program that gives you 9 footsteps. In the game, there was 1, 2, 3 footsteps. This gave him 9. So basically, what his character did, I think, how it worked, is he would like draw out the area he wanted to cover, and his character would just zoom all over the place constantly, right? So it would scan and scan, and basically every single Pokemon would spawn in for 10 minutes. So if Chucky saw that at, let's say, 7 minutes, and it's a 6-minute car ride away, we would go for it every time. We would go, all right, can we make this? And we would just fly. And every time, man, we honestly, I would say every 1 in 4, we would actually make it. But most of the time, we just would miss it. I'd be mid-video editing, like on a real good like edit flow, and just, all right, Snorlax, gotta go catch it, dude. It was stupid. It took over our lives, man.
My favorite part was driving around, like we were all in the car, and I just see you guys point at this random cliff, and we're just like, yeah, I caught this guy there. And I'm just like, what? Like, this is the dumbest thing to me. I'm just like, I liked Pokemon as a kid. It was like the first game I ever played. I think it was like Pokemon Yellow with a Pikachu on it. My grandma
follows you around, right?
Yeah. My grandma bought a Game Boy Color for me and my sister. And I remember playing that. I was like, dude, this is sick. But like, I was never really invested. Like, I played up to Gen 3, or actually up to Gen 4, Pokemon Diamond and Platinum, I think. And that's where I just kind of I just kind of stopped after that. Like I played a little bit of Black and White, and I was like, X and Y I haven't played.
Dude, Black and White. I mean, I didn't play it, but I've seen the Pokemon, and I think that was probably their weakest generation.
Yeah,
They have frozen ice cream Pokemon,
yeah,
like literal trash Pokemon, not like muck, which is sludge, but literal a garbage Pokemon called Grubbish or something.
yeah.
Nuts and bolt Pokemon, Chandelier Pokemon, like. They got
it
a
was
little weird. That whole
Gen
that whole
7
run.
I think was a really good year. I played Pokemon Sun. I haven't officially beat it, but from what I've played, I really like the mechanics and how they switched it up instead of making you get like the HMs and all this other stuff from gym leaders. It's really interesting how they did it. I really like that, but it's just like how else can it go from here, you know? Like
Okay, well, first thing I will say the HM sucked because
yeah.
you basically your Pokemon only knows 4 moves.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give it one of that, right? So people
Yeah,
just do HM slaves, and
HM
I feel like it just took away from the game a lot. But honestly, I have a Pokemon top 5 coming up this weekend, and in it I mentioned that like Pokemon Sun and Moon, man, they hit this perfect storm of their 20th year in February, and then in the summer, Pokemon Go drops. I mean, that just sparked interest in Pokemon Go all around, dude. The hype really got up for that. And then in, was it November or October, Pokemon Sun and Moon drops. So I just feel like 2016 was the biggest year for Pokemon ever. And I can't see, I really can't see them outdoing Sun and Moon. The other thing with Sun and Moon, man, was they really made it nostalgic for old players. They made sure to include a lot of old like Gen 1 and 2 Kanto Pokemon. Plus with the introduction of the Alolan Pokemon, that really gave old school players a sense of familiarity.
Absolutely,
right?
Yes. I agree, yes.
Yeah.
And adding Red into the Pokemon Sun.
Yeah, right.
That was such a good idea. Yeah. The nostalgia. I think that's what brought the initial hype to Pokemon Go. It was the nostalgia. And I would see younger kids playing it a lot, but the majority, like when we went to the pier, it was mostly the older kids, like around our age, like between 16 to like 25.
Yeah, it was the original 151, right? And that's what if you ask anyone, okay, well, what Pokemon do you know? Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, Pikachu, Mewtwo, right?
Exactly.
People know Dragonite. People know. Everyone knows Gen 1, right?
Yeah.
At least to some degree. So it's the most relatable. I think honestly, I was talking with with Mystic 7. I think you met him at COD XP. He was telling me.
I think I did. Yeah.
Actually, when I met him, he's like, "Oh, bro, were you at COD XP?" I was like, "No, I wasn't." He's like, "You're Z-House." Anyways, he was saying like Pokemon Go's really taken another step up again. I mean, his channel's been doing really well off of it with Generation 2. But I was saying, man, I think Generation 3 for Pokemon Go is going to be huge because Sapphire, Emerald, and Ruby, dude. I really feel like that set of games were huge, man.
Yeah, I played all 3. I played every single one. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I played them all straight and beat them out, every single one. Those 3 were those are my 3 favorite legendaries out of all the games. Like
Kyogre, Groudon, and
I love Arceus in Gen 5. Yeah. But my 3 favorites are Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Groudon.
Yeah, man.
My faves.
I feel like if they ever drop, well, they will probably do it this summer. That'll be the smartest time to drop Gen 3, this like July maybe, right? Like a year after. Oh, go ahead.
Are the legendaries out for Pokemon Go? Like, what's up with that?
Dude, there's no legendaries yet.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Like, they're gonna have to do events, but
because they were really hyping it up, and I was just kind of like, is it happening? But
it'd be cool if they did events where you could get maybe a Master Ball, maybe a legendary or something.
My issue with Niantic was I think they should have released Gen 2 way earlier. I don't know why they waited for an entire year almost to release it. Because I think that was the major thing. Like, the reason why Pokemon Go lost so much of its traction, I think was because of the bugs and how they literally downgraded the game, from what I've heard at least.
Oh yeah, they did. And even when they released it, it was just not a full game, man.
No, No.
I
And
mean, the battle system is you just tap as fast as you can. Basically, that's how you win.
yeah,
It's so bare bones.
it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of not good. I think what they should have done, I think they got an offer. I'm not sure from who to sell the game. I really wish they did because I'd like to see where Pokemon Go would have evolved from then. And I bet you Pokemon like Gen 2 would have come out like in September like of last year for sure.
Dude,
So
Pokemon Go, Niantic fucked up, man.
yeah,
They
absolutely.
they
Yeah.
like they had the biggest hit ever, and their company was just not prepared. I bet whoever hired them, I guess it was Nintendo or I don't know the third company that owns Pokemon Go,
No
but
idea. No.
dude, if they had picked the right developer that could have maximized this game, man, I wanted Pokemon Go to feel exactly like the Pokemon games,
Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
just real life. That would have been so sick. But the gym battles were boring. It just got really boring. You know, they should have. I think it would have been sick if they had added in actual gym leaders that you have to fight and make it like the actual Pokemon system where you have moves and you use them. That would have been awesome, man.
Yeah,
But,
I was really turned off as well from the battling because like when I just saw you guys, I just see people like sitting at this pole outside, like just tapping the
Yeah.
thing, and I just what the hell is that?
oh yeah, dude, it was embarrassing. It was
Yeah,
stupid.
it's just like what the hell?
But man, I will say that month period where everyone was just catching Pokemon in the world, I feel like that was a good time on planet Earth. Maybe the
I
most
think
peaceful time ever.
I feel like I had more fun at it just looking at people, and I remember just going down the pier, and I was like, "What are you all doing?" And everybody's just, "Yo, you caught that Squirtle? He's over there." I'm just like, where are your parents? Like, it's just so bad. And then
Dude,
that just reminds me
the
of like when
best.
wait, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say the best moment was when you go like, there's a what was it? There's
Yeah,
a
I was like, "There's a Charizard, guys!" And I
yeah.
just started running on the pier, and there were like a trail of people behind me, and like Matt was trying to catch up, film me and shit. It was so funny, dude.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
that was my favorite part. Like, but I remember when I came home from the Z house, I was like, "Yo, so you guys play Pokemon Go?" And they're like, "No, it's dead." I'm like, "What?" Like it was already dead. And
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
was. I mean, it was already dying before we
yeah.
left, and then
hmm
I mean, the big nail in the coffin was, dude, we were living in like a very downtown area where there were we had a you could go to a Pokestop from the corner of one of the part in the house, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for that reason, I mean, going back to where I live in Nova Scotia, where there's nothing, man.
hmm
You know, there was just no point to keep playing. And I've played a little Gen 2, but it wasn't enough to get me back into it.
Like
Plus, I live in a really small town, so.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with me. Like, I think that was the main turnoff for where I live because I live on an island and it's just like, okay, what can you catch here? Like, that's
Yeah.
not really a lot. I think, yeah, the main issue with that game is it kind of just brought down the experience. But yeah, but going into transitioning into Pokemon Go to the Z House, I think
Yeah.
if the Z House were to happen this year, if a DLC5 were to come out, that would bring up the hypes a lot, especially because I was thinking like worst case scenario, nothing comes out, okay, and Treyarch just kind of stays the same. Best case scenario, every single zombie map that has ever been made by Treyarch gets remastered with new content. And then also Treyarch is like, you know what? Let's just add seasonal game modes. Let's just add everything. That would be the best for me.
You know
But
what would be my dream come true is if they released maps monthly. Because I don't want to get 16 new maps all at once. What am I going to stream?
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I want to see one DLC a month. Give us, let's start March, for example. It's
Yeah,
remaster
absolutely.
March.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I saw like a million YouTubers when that got announced. They all made videos on it, and every single one, I was like, "Oh my god, the new DLC!" And I'm like, "Oh, it's Modern Warfare." But no one put Modern Warfare in the title. They just said they just said new DLC coming, remaster March, and I'm like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh no, it's for Modern Warfare Remastered."
The issue with the variety map pack has really just kind of like gotten all my hopes down yet again
Yeah.
because like that was just abysmal.
Why did people get so upset about that? I've seen some really negative comments about the fact that they're bringing new maps to Modern Warfare Remastered.
So the first issue was the Variety Map Pack was originally released 10 years ago, and it was actually only $10.
Right.
That's the first issue that most people are really mad about. And then for some reason, people were saying that they were promising free DLC, but I'm just like, come on, guys, it's Activision. Nothing's ever free here. But I think the main issue is it's just like you don't add leaderboards in your game for 3 months. You have awful content that nobody's really interested into, like, and they're just trying to like cover up their tracks with all this like money grubbing stuff. I think that's the main issue that people are just really not happy with. And I totally agree, dude. It's like $15 for a DLC map for only 4 multiplayer maps when you're not getting a zombies map as well. That is the problem. Like, I don't care. Like, and I think it's really funny that Overwatch, yet again, I'm bringing it back, can release just a regular map with like 3 different maps inside of it. So like a free DLC. Just there you go.
Well, dude, you made a really good point there, saying that how they brought microtransactions in before they fixed the leaderboard. So you don't even have a complete game, and you're already trying to just show people out. Like, we've paid $70 for a new game, and how much is the season pass? 50?
Yeah, 50.
So here's $120 for an incomplete game, and by the way, you wanna get some new guns?
Exactly.
Right? What? Like, you can't do that. I can understand. Black Ops 3 did it all right, where they kind of introduced everything and then they launched it. But man, it was just gross. It's gross to see that an incomplete game and you're already starting to launch microtransactions.
I think the cherry on top is really, it's like, yeah, we spent 3 years in development on this game. 3 years, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just like. Nah.
I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that what they did is they had a game and then they saw all the dislikes on the trailer and they basically said, let's just make a Black Ops 3 2.0.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Dude, I've yet to even play the campaign or the multiplayer.
Me neither. Yeah, I literally only played the multiplayer for 1 game just to like get some screenshots of the new weapons. But like, I played one of the maps and I was like, from Overwatch at least, from the transition, I was like, this is so clunky. Like, even Black Ops 3 had a better movement system. Like, I was trying to wall run around on the maps, and I was just like, this is so like, it just doesn't feel good. Like, it's like a worse version. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, don't really. I mean, I was talking to JC about the campaign, and he was like, yeah, it's good, but like, it's probably not worth your time. Like, this just kind of like a subpar thing. And
really, I heard it was. I've heard it was the best part of the game. But then again, that's not. I mean, that's not saying much compared to multiplayer. I guess.
Not a lot. Yeah.
Well, this is what's sad. Okay, is I've played a lot of zombies in my day, okay?
Oh, me too.
I don't think anyone's going to debate that, okay?
Yeah.
You know, as a zombies YouTuber, you've definitely gotten on and played a match or two. This is so sad. This is so pathetic. When the day before Rave of the Redwoods came out, or no, I guess the day of it came out, because I got back, I was in London. So the day it came out, I checked my playtime. From November through to the release of Rave of the Redwoods, I played 8 hours of that game, of Zombies in Spaceland. And I'm a zombies YouTuber.
Yeah, that's pathetic, dude. I've literally, with Rave in the Redwoods, I've played it 4 times. And in that 4 times, 2 attempts have been on video. The 3rd attempt has been the Easter egg, which I completely beat in the 3rd attempt and my first try. And the 4th was just to play with the new weapons. That's it.
Weapons?
Like, they added 2 new guns from multiplayer into the zombies mode, and I wanted to try them out. And one is pretty cool. It's like an SMG. You can take it apart. You tase the zombies. It's like a one-hit, like round 17. Pretty cool. The other one's just like this, like, kind of auto machine pistol, which is just like, it's kind of bad. But other than that, I don't know what the appeal is. Like, I think this is the biggest issue with IW Zombies, in my opinion. They wanted to take it into this comedic route where it's just like, oh, we don't even care what it is. Like, there's no story. But when you make it like that, when the developers say we don't care what it is, then why should your consumer care?
Yeah.
And I think that is the main just like reason why a lot of people just don't enjoy it. I don't see the appeal of the replayability. I don't know. Like, and now DLC2 is apparently coming out, and like they're going into the 70s, and we already know what it is, and
What
it's
is
just
it?
like at the end of the Easter egg in Rave in the Redwoods, they already showed the next map. They're like, okay, you're going to be going into the 70s, and it's going to be some disco thing. And that's
you know what? I honestly think that was smart.
I think it was as well.
Because the thing is people aren't as invested as Treyarch. So they're not just going to go off the hope of, oh, Treyarch's going to do something. So at least people know what they're getting into, I guess.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I will actually say I enjoyed Rave in the Redwoods. I played it the first day. I did my first playthrough, and I basically just committed the rest of my night to figuring out how to upgrade the bows as early as possible.
Right.
I mean, you can go like round 3 if you really want to, but I kind of just figured out that entire map when I got it down to a science. And when you do that to a map, it's not that fun anymore.
No,
right? I need this many points, and I gotta, knife the zombie, and then shoot him 8 times in the leg, and knife, that kind of stuff. I don't need that. It's just not
that's
fun.
That's when it gets to like a mechanical game, and that's why, in my opinion, everybody says Origins is the best map because it is so difficult to get that map to a mechanical expertise where you could get everything and do it really quickly, which is why, in my opinion, completing the Easter egg on that map for speedrunning, how you beat me, like that's why it was fun, because it's so difficult. Like, as soon as, let's think of Origin spawn room. As soon as you spawn in, you hit the lightning, you hit it twice so it goes to the other side. You pick up the brain, you get the shovel, you dolphin dive on quick revive, you turn on the generator, you kill 10 with just your knife. It's just instantly you're going and doing everything.
Yes, bro.
And
just you talking about it gets me excited. I want to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
That's why Origins has its appeal, because the mechanical expertise on that map is so high. And that's why, in my opinion, I like Shadows of Evil as well, because it's like my favorite part. I watched the EE4C, and I just see how coordinated we were, and just like how efficiently I was able to hit those beast modes and get every district on. That was one of my favorite parts, because it was just like this mechanical skill and expertise that you need to do, where you can get it faster, you can get it done faster. And that's why I love it. It's a lot of fun like that. But you look at Rave in the Redwoods, and it's just like, okay, you go around, you punch some with your fist, then you pick up a melee weapon, you go around, you like get high, and it doesn't have the appeal. It doesn't have the appeal.
Yeah. Dude, Origins though, going back to that. The more I play that Easter egg, the more I want to continue doing it. Have you watched Starburst's Hour Run?
I've seen every single speed run on it. It is just like that. It's another thing. It's the reason why, in my opinion, the reverse rainbow and rainbow perk challenge blew up on Origins, because it's so hard. It's so difficult. And I still believe that is the hardest challenge in zombies. Like,
the reverse rainbow.
The reverse rainbow on Origins. It's literally perfection. If you fuck up once, you're gone. Like, it's perfection.
I almost beat it. And I had 2 zombies left on round 18. I needed... I'd gotten 2 perks. So I had... I don't even know. I only needed 2 more perks, but like I knew where the last red dig site was for my 7th. Like I got through every single area. I needed 1 more spot, so I was just waiting for zombie blood basically. And I got distracted by something, got down by 2 zombies, got picked back up, and died. Do you know the trick with the red dig piles? Do you know what it is? The Semtex trick?
The Semtex one. When I heard of that, I didn't know about that when I was doing my first rainbow. And then when I tried it again, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier. Yeah. But like, again, with that, it's just, you got to know. You have to know, throw them, you got to really know. So
yeah, man. But the thing I love about Origins is there's so much to do you feel accomplishment. You're like, okay, I got this switch flipped to the right spot. I picked up my stone. I got another switch flipped. And like you said, like if I went into a map, I could flip every single switch to the exact right spot right now.
Yeah.
It's just something you remember, man. You
Absolutely.
go in, you got to start doing the chests because you got to get your fist so that you could get melee kills in front of the thing so that you can take it to the other place, do that, get the G-Strike, there's so many things. It's like you just have 100 things you have to do, and every single little task you just feel accomplished for. Okay, I got this piece, I got this piece, I got this piece, got this, got the max stone, got the shield, and it's not tedious, right? You get rewarded. You fill up, you fill up the 4 soul chests. You get a crazy melee weapon. You clean the stone. You get like basically the best monkey bomb ever. You know what I mean? So. Because I was talking about this and I was like, well, why isn't Zetsubo good? Because Zetsubo's the same way. There's so much stuff, but you don't get rewarded for anything. Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah, you get the Skull of Non-Stopway for doing the 4 steps, but it's not as easy as, okay, just fill zombies up, fill this up. It's like, you got to go here, put the, then take the skull, put it somewhere else, get kills, put it back. You know what I mean? Like, it's so tedious, whereas Origins managed to give you a lot of stuff to do, but make it a part of the gameplay, right? Get kills in this specific area quickly enough that the robot doesn't come. Stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and I think when we go back to the remasters, this is my main thing. Many people are speculating that Origins is going to be in the map, and I feel what really ruined Zetsubo, in my opinion, was honestly the addition of gobblegums, because if you want to have an enjoyable experience on that map, you have to get shopping free. You have to be able to know how to open up all the doors really quickly. And as soon as Origins gets gobblegums, I feel like it's going to have like this ruined sensation where it's just, plus the 3-hit system as well on Origins. I feel that's what made Origins a lot more difficult. The 2 hits. You get 1 strike. If you get hit, you got to watch out. But as soon as you get the 2nd hit, it's over. And I think that was the biggest like learning curve of the map, just the 2-hit system, especially going from BO3 to BO2, where it's just like, oh my god, this is way more hard. So,
I think the 2-hit system works on some maps. It definitely works on Origins. I was just playing Mob of the Dead earlier. It does not work on that map. That map needs to be a 3 because it's so close quarters, right? But Origins is huge, and the 2-hit system is perfect for that map, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, I agree.
And it makes jugs so necessary too, right? So that's a huge thing as well. But man, I don't know. The gobblegum thing scares me. I would be okay with the normal gobblegums.
Yeah.
So alchemical, that'd be cool. There's a few other ones in there that might be helpful, but man, to if you're throwing in Perkaholic on Origins,
that ruins like 90. That honestly ruins the end game portion of Origins.
And think about this: if there had been Perkaholic on that map originally, the Rainbow Perk Challenge never would have been a thing.
Nope.
Because nobody would care. I mean, I've done the Rainbow Perk in Black Ops 3. We've done it together, and it was a good time, but it's not Origins, right?
It's not the same appeal. Because I think the only zombies map that added an unquenchable ability was Zetsubo with the plants. With one of the plants,
but you only get one, right?
You can get a free perk, but it's random, and that just complete. Like if you get the wrong one, okay, I got it down and redo it.
Yeah. Dude, the plants were. I hated the plant system.
Yeah.
It was such a good idea, and I hated it, man.
That's one thing Spaceland did do better though. Like the coins, that was a lot more better. But the problem with that, there's so much running around. You gotta get a red coin. Oh, go all the way here, go all the way there.
Go to Space Mountain.
Space Mountain. But going back to the Spaceland largeness, okay, and we were talking about this bit before the stream. I don't even know if we were talking about it on stream, but there is a developer for Black Ops 3 Customs that just made a map called Meadows. His name was Cornrow Wallace. He was the first person I saw stream the map was Madgaz.
Can I cut you off there?
Yeah, sure.
His name was Cornrow Wallace?
Cornrow Wallace, yeah. I don't
Number one, that's a sick name.
Yeah.
But I thought his name was James.
from what I've heard, I don't know if it's a code name. I don't know if it's his actual name. I'm not sure.
Dalek called him James. I was watching his stream. I was like, oh, it must be James.
Okay, yeah. So
anyway, sorry. Yeah.
I think it's just his code name. But
gotcha.
From what we were discussing before the stream, that map, in my opinion, at least for me, is the most influential custom zombies map to date, because I hope that's where it goes into. Because if any of you guys have played the Forest is basically like that map where you go around, you gather stuff, ingredients, and the main appeal of the Forest, in my opinion, is the caves. Imagine if Meadows had this cave where you could go into that was just like this completely new map, and there was all these like insanely huge bosses that you'd have to kill in here and try to survive and get something really rewarding at the end of it. I think if zombies went more into the open world survival area, that would breathe in so much more life into the game. I think that would make it so much more appealing with them adding the gobblegums as well, or maybe if you can craft it or something, but not the buildables. The buildables was, I don't think that was the right way. I think that was what Zielinski was trying to push into if he was going to direct into BO3,
right.
But I don't think Blundell really took his idea into fruition, because like, why would you want to build a shield, or why would you want to do this? You know, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I dislike the appeal of it.
Yeah. When I go back and play the Zielinski maps, especially Black Ops 2, maybe it's just because I really prefer the Blundell maps. I think he just goes, he made things everything's more logical, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
You pick up all 3 shield parts, you go build a shield, rather than, oh, I have the shield piece, run up here, put it on, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I mean, transit, this is just beating a dead horse at this point, but, you know, transit is the ultimate version of that, of just being completely tedious. All right, you want to get the worst wonder weapon in the game. Well, guess what? It's also the weapon that takes the longest to make. Is there a wonder weapon that is harder to get than the jet gun? I don't think so.
Nope.
You have to do so much
because every part, like when you think about the map, every part is in the distant corners, like the most distant parts ever.
Yeah.
And it's just so aggravating. And especially it's like, oh, you broke it? Go back and get all those parts.
Yeah. and it's brutal. It's not even good.
No, it's just abysmal. Like it's just absolutely awful.
When they were testing it, did they think that, oh yeah, how did you play that map? Going from the Thunder Gun, the Wonder Waft, the Wave Gun and Zap Gun, and then go to this and be, yeah, looks good to me.
I think that was the issue though. I think from the open world idea, what I was saying, they've been trying to do that for years and years.
That's very true.
And I think that Transit yet again might have just been a rushed project, and that was what we got. They just didn't have enough time. But I think once Treyarch finally nails down the open world aspect, that's going to bring in so much life to the game. I think the main issue is they don't want to make it too similar to any other game. Like if it's like if you're getting wood and stuff, it's going to be very similar to the games like The Forest or Rust or games like that. So
dude, I would okay, imagine this though. It's an open world, let's just say Fallout type world, because Fallout 4 was a great map. I didn't play a lot of that game, but, you know, really big map. So it's like that, but it keeps the idea of zombies where you have rounds, right? So you start off in this open world, and maybe you can pick your spawn or something, or, you know, there's one spawn, and if you get to different areas, you can make that your new spawn for the next map and stuff like that, right? What if, though, it kept that zombies feel, right? Because you don't want it being like Rust where it's completely open world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right? So, okay, round 1, I got to get points because I still got to do stuff. I still got to buy stuff. But, you know, like just that open world of a Fallout, a Skyrim, you know? Think about Skyrim, man. Think about how replayable that game is. People are still playing Skyrim to this day. There are thousands of people playing it.
And it's being re-released. It's being re-released on the Switch. Like,
really? I didn't even know that. Wow.
It's that successful of a game. Like, it's so good that it's being re-released 6 years later once it was finally released. And I think, imagine Zombie Skyrim, dude. Imagine Zombie Skyrim where
that would be amazing.
It's like, it's kind of what Breath of the Wild did as well. Instead of being linear, they made it, you know what, open world. And my favorite part about Zelda, they put Hyrule Castle in the middle of the game, in the middle of the map. Which is like, you know what? You can do everything, but the end point is right there. And if you want to go to that end point as soon as you spawn, go for it. You know?
Yeah, that's
I think
cool.
that's the coolest thing.
Yeah. Have you played a lot of Breath of the Wild?
No, I impulse buyed a Switch for an overpriced rate,
Oh
and it's getting
no.
mailed to me. I
Oh
bought it
no.
on eBay, and I was just like, "Oh God, man, why did I do this?" It was really late, and I was like, "God damn it, I want it." So, because the last Zelda game I played was Twilight Princess, and I
Oh
love
wow.
Twilight Princess, but my favorite Zelda game ever. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's got to be Majora's Mask. It's got to be Ocarina of Time."
Ooh.
Wind Waker, dude. Wind
Okay.
Waker is
Okay.
my shit. I love that game.
Nice.
The HD remaster for it was just, it was so good.
I
I love
respect that,
that
man.
game.
I respect that.
Wind Waker.
I've only played 3 of them. I've played Wind Waker. I never beat it though. I wasn't good enough to beat it. I've played the Minish Cap, I think. It was Game Boy Advance, man. It was a very different game. There were only like 3 or 4 temples you went to or whatever. But that was actually a sick game. And then what was the original, man? It was like not a link to, well, I have played A Link to the Past, but what's the original classic that was on like the SNES or something?
I think it was just Zelda. Is that what it was just called? Just Zelda?
Was it A Link to the
Sure.
Past maybe?
I'm not sure. I could look it up.
Link to the Oh, I'm thinking A Link Between Worlds is the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. It was A Link to the Past, and that's like, I mean, that's like super old school. But
Yes.
the thing with
yeah.
Zelda, man, is I tried Ocarina of Time.
Mm,
No, not happening.
it's more of a nostalgia thing. Like you
Yeah,
have to
if
have
you've
been there.
played it,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. But where I'm at, I can't get into it, man.
Like I
can't
remember
get into
my
it.
first time playing it was so weird. I went with my dad to a bank when I was like 6, and they had an N64 with Ocarina of Time on it, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness, this is fun!" Like it
Wow.
was, but I just never got I never got it, and I owned an N64, but I never got Ocarina of Time. But from what I've heard from everybody's reviews of Breath of the Wild, people are saying this is the number one. Everybody's saying it's better than Ocarina, it's better than Majora's Mask, better than Wind Waker. So like, you know what? I haven't played the game in over 10 years. I gotta try it out. Like
That's amazing, man.
That is a feat, you know?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of YouTubers trying it and streaming it.
Mhm.
Interesting, man, because like I feel like Zombies is in a really weird point on YouTube.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying, either people have just stopped uploading,
Yeah.
but a lot of people are trying new things, man.
Mhm.
And I've seen Noah has started streaming on his second channel again.
I am a big advocate of Noah that he doesn't need to post zombies. I think the thing with him
I
is
agree, man.
he's scared. He's scared that he doesn't understand. Like it's like with me. I was so scared. I was like, should I go into Overwatch? Should I go into Overwatch? Is everyone gonna hate me? But from what I've seen, the views are fine. The likes are a little bit lower, but I'm okay with that. It's just the thing that gets me with you guys. The comments on my Overwatch videos are savage. They are so bad. It's just like, your channel's dead, dude. You're shit. You're so bad. But like, when I look at what I get for retention, I'm like, but it's the same. Sometimes even better. So I don't get that.
Yeah, I've seen your videos are doing great on Overwatch, and that's so awesome to see that. See someone actually going and playing something else. But that's a really good point, man. Is the thing with Noah that I don't understand why. And now, if you're listening to this, this is the vice I put into your face as well. I'm not trying to like, oh, I'm going behind Noah's back here. No, like this is what I really believe for Noah. He's made the switch to different games, right? He started with Skyrim, then he did Zombies, then he did GTA, back to Zombies. He's also done Destiny. He's done a few other games on the side, H1Z1.
Yeah.
So I feel like Noah's audience is not really new to him switching. Now, yeah, I mean maybe he's doubled his audience since he got into Zombies, but I just feel like Noah should really give a go. You know, he's one of the biggest live streamers on YouTube.
Yeah.
If I looked at the people that live stream now, consistently, like typical gamers up there, he streams all the time. He gets like 10K,
GTA.
GTA,
Crazy.
of course.
Yeah.
But besides him, I'm sure there's a few that I can think of, but consistent streamers, man. Noah's one of the biggest. I think he could really do well if he branched off and just did other games.
Yeah. That's what I said to him. But recently, like he's doing a lot of extra streaming on his second channel, and it's really interesting seeing like he's doing Breath of the Wild. He did Overwatch on the new hero, and that video did really well. Um, it's I think it's just the zombies community, man. Like it'll always be what I said at the beginning of one of my videos. It's like this secretive community that once you break, you're just an outcast. Like
Yes.
it's just such a insane thing. Cause like I get comments on every single Overwatch video that I do that says, "Oh, you're just like Syndicate leaving the community," and then I'm just like, "Dog, I made a zombies video like 3 days ago." Like,
Yeah.
calm down, please.
Well, dude, at least you're going over to FPS, okay?
Exactly.
I've been trying to do Pokemon, man, and it is not easy.
No. Yeah.
I'm trying to work out what the best type of content to do is, right?
Yeah.
The most popular thing on YouTube is known as a Nuzlocke run, which basically...
I've heard of those, actually.
Yeah, so you play it. It's basically hardcore Pokemon. If your Pokemon faints, it dies, you have to release it.
Yeah.
The only way to really play it legitimately is you have to do a randomizer, which makes every single Pokemon spawn in the game random. So, you know, where you could find a Rattata, you find a Lugia. You know, crazy stuff like that.
Right. You're right.
That's like the most exciting stuff to do, which is something... I don't know. I could figure that out, right? But I mean, I did a first run. I did terrible. I had no idea what I was in for. But the thing is, man, is I don't want to bring people like 3-hour streams every day, right?
Exactly.
I feel like 2 hours really is the max that someone's going to commit to it. And if it's 2 hours, it has to be good, right? Like the Origins Easter egg, you know, something Mob of the Dead Easter egg. It's got to be something that's actually exciting.
Yeah, it can't be just stale, which is one of the reasons why when we were at the house, the Z house, Jack was like, when I think it was Garage Crovey came out. I think, yeah, Garage Crovey, he was like, dude, why is nobody making videos anymore? It's just streams. That was just kind of like the big smack in the face for me. I was just like, dude, you're so right. Nobody makes videos anymore when a new map pack releases. Like, I remember when the last person that I remember consistently making videos when a map pack just dropped was NGT Zombies on Buried. The man just made a billion videos. I watched every single one. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is so cool. Because, like, if I was at school, I'm not watching a 3-hour stream where some parts are cool, but I don't know where the actual content is in, which is why I love the videos the most. And I was just like, I need to do this, which is why I've been shying away from streams, especially with IW and especially just in general, because like streams are fun, sure, but like the last stream I did on my channel was something like you were saying, where it always builds up on the entertainment, and I played every single zombies map for 15 minutes, and that was a lot of fun. It was just like, oh, we were listening to music, just chilling, just having a fun time, and that's fun. But I just can't push myself to make a video or a stream about a custom zombies map when I don't know, especially if it's my first time, I don't know if it's going to be entertaining. I don't know if I'm going to like it. And that's why I've been releasing these like videos with JC, Liam, and Azura, where it's just like we play random maps and we just compile together, and it's just the funniest thing. Like it's so dumb, but it's hilarious. And that's why I like it.
Definitely I honestly, man, I'm glad that you do videos because I think you're one of the better editors in the community that I can actually make that stuff funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, I suck at editing, man.
Yeah,
I suck at editing. I'm just better at long form content, which it sucks, man, because on one side I'm like, yo, I get it. You don't want to watch a 3-hour stream. And if I'm putting up a 3-hour stream every day, you don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
The other side, dude, when you catch that stream live, people love it, man.
Yeah, that's another cool thing about it. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, like you were saying with Overwatch, is views don't lie. And if a stream gets more views than if you just uploaded that video, or even if you did it in parts or you did a highlight, it's like, what do you do, right? Because
exactly.
It's not even a money thing. It's well, this is getting more views, so obviously my viewers like this more. Right?
Yeah.
So it's such a difficult situation, man, where I just feel for zombies right now, like the only thing you can do is stream right now. Unless you want to do like, I mean, you know, Dalek does news and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like gameplay, you basically have to stream. And that's really like when I started streaming consistently, I mean, like my growth started kind of getting back on track. And as far as views, it's like whatever. But I just like having like that consistent growth because I feel like if you're gaining no subscribers, you're just stagnating, right? So yeah.
Sorry, just to interrupt. My thing with my upload schedule, like I really wish I could stream because there's days where I want to make something, but I end up editing for like 8 hours and I'm just like, dang, like I could have made a stream and it would have been up. That's the main issue because my upload schedule right now is by far the worst I have ever had. It's like one video a week if I can get lucky and like make something and just think of one. Because like the next video I'm going to make is DLC5, but like there's something about editing with me at least where I'm just like, I need to make these videos iconic where people can remember them. And it's not just another video, another day. You know, and I think that's one of the biggest mentalities that's helped me improve, but it's also helped lower my it's just not good for my upload schedule because like everyone's like, remember when you uploaded daily, guys? Like, oh, that was crazy. And I was just like, I really wish I could upload daily, but I would be on this chair for 16 hours a day every day, and that's not what I want to do because like it's just not fun. Like it's not fun, guys. Like I do love editing, and that's why recently, like for the second semester of university, I actually dropped out of my business, and now I'm taking I haven't actually said this, but I dropped out of my business program because I took my first semester and I had a group project where I was forced to make a full report with 5 people, but I was actually the only person that actually cared because I was the only one in my group that spoke proper English. Nobody else could speak English, and I spent over 60 hours making this one report. And that was just the one thing where I'm like, this is gonna be my life. This is how it's gonna end. And I'm just like, I'm leaving. And that's why I'm taking this film studies bachelor's of arts now, where I'm learning about how to edit properly, and I'm reading all these like blog posts and seeing how people edit, and it's insane some of the stuff people are making. I'm so intrigued, and that's why I think for the rest of my life, I would be fine with becoming something to do with like a video editor where I go around places, make short films, do that type of stuff. And I think that would be so much fun. I think that's like the coolest thing. So
I agree with you. Fuck business.
Yeah.
It took me 2 years to realize I don't like business. This is the thing, man. I like the business side of YouTube. I really do, right?
Yes.
Like top 10 trends that me and Matt have started. Dude, I love that because you're like, okay, right? So we have a guy that makes most of our videos. I do some videos, but we have a guy, right? And it's like, okay, I have this video. How can I make this video intriguing, right? How can I make an intriguing title? And it's not like, how can I clickbait people, you know, and like mislead people, right? But how can I get people to click on this video and like make it a really interesting title, right? Yeah. And that stuff to me is so fun. And that's like the business side of YouTube. And that's marketing. It's literally, you know, I took a marketing class, and like I'm like, okay, yeah, this is YouTube. I know all of this, right? I know all of this. So I don't know, man. It took me a while to realize that I thought I liked business. I like self-employment. Yeah. I like the freedom of self-employment that business can lend you. But like you said, man, group meetings, everything is a group meeting. The problem with university, though, is, okay, we're in this group, but in the real world, I'm not going to work with people that don't want to work, right? And it's like, okay, I'm going to have to do all the work. I mean, I've been in one of those where no one else is doing anything, and you're the only one, right? And it's just, I don't know. I just don't think that's how the real world works so much.
I agree. It's just, I realized I took a course before I went to my university, and I was like, you know what? I'm really interested in this. Let's see how it goes. But then I got into it, and I realized like there's a difference between you being interested into something and you being passionate about something. That is a very key issue. And if you're interested in making money, that is not a thing. That's just not an outlet you should be going for, because what you're doing consistently right now is probably what you'll be ending up doing for the rest of your life. So like, I know it sounds bad. So if you're just sitting watching TV, like, I hate to break it to you, but no, I'm joking. But the thing is, like, um, I love just sitting on my computer, editing, seeing how people edit, seeing how things are created, because it gives me more of a film artistic eye. And that's why when I started taking this Bachelor of Film Studies, it's so interesting. And if you're like the difference between interested is you like hearing about it, but a passion is you want to know more. You want, like, because that's what drives people into becoming great in their success in whatever. It's if you want to know more, if you want to keep going, how resilient will you become in doing it? Because, like, for business, when I took it, I had a business communications class. We were learning how to use Microsoft Word. I'm like, dog, I learned this in grade 2. Like, come on. Like, and it was just a waste of time. And that's why I was like, let's go into this first class. I'm interested. I'm learning more. I'm reading. I'm getting into it. And that's why that is when when you're really consistently diving into it. Like YouTube. Like, I want to know how to make my thumbnails better. I want to know how to make my titles better. How do I get to a bigger audience? If you're looking into that, then your passion. That's your passion, you know?
Yeah, dude. Oh, man, it's such a weird, like I said, it's such a weird time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, YouTube is something I know it's not going to last forever.
Absolutely.
And I'm always thinking, what's the next thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I completely agree with you. It's about finding that passion.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, my only passion I've really ever had for life is this.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I think, well, what else would I want to do?
Well, there are one great guy I was looking at is Fwiz. Have you heard of him? He's the
course,
MLG. Yeah. So basically, with him, he's so interesting because he took kind of like a communication. I read his like biography. He took like a communications degree in some university in Chicago, and he just kept going with his passion with MLG esports, and it just kept growing. And that's why I feel for people stopping at YouTube and putting it up here, that's the issue. That's the main problem. There's a lot more to YouTube where you can go to. You can become a business communication management. You can just keep going, but people just see it's in business. I think they call it the glass ceiling. They see it and they're just, can I get out? Can I get out? Can I protrude out of it? And that's why, I don't know. I think you can. I don't think people should stop at YouTube.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. I agree. Because right now, man, I don't feel as passionate as I once did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember, I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, like I set a goal, and my goal was I want to do YouTube full time, and just to basically like, you know, like live an unrealistic life, right? I remember, I mean, Syndicate was like the biggest motivation. I just remember seeing him blow up and doing all this cool stuff and going to all these events. It was like, man, just from Call of Duty Zombies and then to Minecraft, like that's so awesome. I wanted to do that basically. And I've hit that. Like, you know what I mean? I lived in a house with 4 other YouTubers. You know what I mean? I've done all that, right? And now the thing with me is, if I set a goal, I will drive to that goal, and like I'll do everything in my power to achieve it. And you know, I mean, I did daily uploads for something like 3 years straight, right?
And that's a feat, dude. That's a feat.
Yeah. So now I feel like I've hit that, and like, you know, Zombies is. It's at this point. It's like I just don't know. I don't want to like I really do enjoy streaming Zombies, but it's just not the same anymore.
My issue with it is I looked at this graph actually that the Gaming Revolution tweeted out, and I was like, this is just really depressing because I don't know if you've seen, I put it in one of my videos, but Black Ops 2 was the highest peak Zombies has ever been at. And I agree, the transit like sort of era was the highest I think I've ever seen the Zombies community at ever. That was insane. And then
I don't know though, man, 120,000 on Revelations.
That is very big, but I mean in terms of like video search results where like
tutorials
tutorials will get 5 million views off the bat. Like I think that was the most ridiculous thing. And then it just kind of died down. And then I feel like Top 5's brought it up a bit, and then it died down. And then Black Ops 3 just went whoosh, and then again, Revelations, the cutscene just killed everybody's vibe, and now it's back down. And that's the thing with Zombies. Like, and especially with YouTube channels, when you look at anything on a chart, like how can you grow a business when the bottom is here and you're right there, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly, man. If you're already at the peak, I mean, I feel like if you're a smaller guy right now, it's a lot easier to grow. Like, I mean, think about me and you during the off time of Black Ops 2. That was when we got our growth in. And that was kind of when we hit that point of, okay, we're launching ourselves from just being one other YouTuber to kind of in the higher tier, you know, like larger portion, larger percentage. It was this growth time. But like, you know, NGT, you know, they didn't grow during that time, right? Because they already kind of hit their ceiling. So now for me, man, it's just like, ooh, shit, drop my pen. It's like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. I feel on one side, I don't want to stop doing zombies. I definitely don't want to stop doing zombies because doing certain things is a lot of fun, right? I really like speedrunning, Easter eggs, even challenges, you know, it's just classic, right? But I think like, man, do I just want to go for something else, right? Just go for something else, you know?
The thing with zombies for me, I still have faith in it. I still believe that they will be able to make a positive change out of it, even though I shouldn't when I'm getting back, like, when I'm just seeing what the Variety Map Pack is doing with Modern Warfare Remastered now and stuff. That's kind of what's just decreasing my motivation for it. But the thing is, in terms of YouTube, I'll still always be doing zombies. I'll still always be doing it. I'm going to be trying to do Overwatch, even like it's already working, I guess. But I'm always just going to be trying to differentiate into things. And JC was like, dude, your content is good. Why don't you just keep branching out and just become like this all-around YouTuber? Because when, for example, Merc Music, like he's been doing Call of Duty for so long, and then recently now he's just kind of branching out into little things like this COD noob tries Halo, COD noob tries Half-Life 2, you know, and it's just that type of stuff that, and he gets like around the same viewership, and it's really nice to see that. And I think that I'm not asking people to be more lenient, but I think it's just try to always innovate. That's my biggest thing. Just innovate. That is the biggest thing I could say to anyone. Just innovate, and you'll get there. Just
dude,
innovate.
you're living proof of that.
Yeah, you just always got to change, because in my opinion, as soon as you become stagnant, that's the end. And I've heard that's a quote I've heard from somewhere. I don't know, but as soon as you stop, I think it's Casey Neistat that said that.
Yes, it's
Casey Neistat. Yeah, and he was like, as soon as you become stagnant, then it's over. Yeah. And I totally agree with that. That man has, out of anybody, he's got the mindset that we can all trust. Dude. Casey for sure. Yeah.
He's honestly, man, what an inspiration Casey Neistat is. He is such a grinder. He's got such a positive attitude to life, but like I'm just gonna go out and fucking do it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how many views he was getting a month, but he was making a lot of cash on daily vlogs.
Absolutely.
And he said, I'm kind of bored with this. I'm going to move on. Right? And he's doing really cool stuff now. That video that he did about YouTubers recently, it was like 4 minutes long.
I saw that.
Amazing, man. It was amazing. He's like the old media are drinking champagne on the Titanic, and we're the fucking iceberg.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that is amazing.
I always watch his vlogs just for the little lessons that he gave. He gave a lot of good lessons about the differentiation between reality and your dreams, and just a lot of different stuff. And he, like, a lot of people hate to admit it, but like he's changed YouTube, in my opinion, for the better. There's people that have changed it for the worse. Not gonna say any names. I think a lot of people know, but Casey for sure has changed it for the better, and especially with the vlogging scene. Oh my goodness, like he's just a machine. He's a machine, dude. He's insane.
He really is a machine.
But in terms of, I see a lot of people in the chat asking like what I'm playing recently, like, and why I'm not uploading. There's a lot of stuff. Like, of course, you guys know it's Overwatch, but literally yesterday I bought this game called Tower Unite, and it's on Steam, and it is by far, if you guys have a lot of friends, it is my favorite game ever. It is so much fun. You can play mini games on it. You can have up to 16 people. So literally just have a whole entire LAN party or whatever. If you guys ever just have these huge events where you just have a lot of people, play this game. Get this game. It's so much fun. I was playing it all night. Randomly yesterday, I was chilling till 6 a.m. with this dude listening to some awesome music in the game on YouTube because you could just put a link in and just listen. Just amazing, man. It was so much fun. I don't even get it. Like, I don't know, but I think that's the coolest thing.
Finding a new game is great.
Mm-hmm.
When you just find a game that consumes you, man, that's the best.
Mm-hmm.
It really is such a good feeling.
Yeah. And that's why I was just talking to Pat a little bit about this before the stream. I was just saying, like, Overwatch has been that game for me. Like, it's consumed me, but I've just been trying to stop recently because competitive has got me just, but, like, I don't know. But imagine, imagine a zombies competitive. I would be so into that, dude. I would be so into that.
I think that could be I don't know how you would make a competitive zombies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I don't know either, but I believe it's possible.
That's one of those things I have some advice for some maps, like, oh yeah, they could have done this and that better, but I don't know how you make competitive zombies, man.
Like a lot of the mappers that I've been talking to about it, like Roll on Math, he's been so MIA for the past year.
Yeah, what's up with Roll on?
No idea.
Did he finish his map?
I haven't talked to him in like over 8 months, but from what we were talking about with customs, we were thinking like, imagine if zombies became like this search and destroy, where you'd have 2 people on one side of the tram in Shadows of Evil and 2 people on the other. And you would have to like just kind of get to each other, build barricades so that you couldn't get killed, and fend off the zombies while trying to kill the other player. I think that would be like a really cool idea, but I don't think that's like perfection, but it's just, imagine if Blundell could introduce these things and just let the community test it out. That is my biggest thing. Why keep it secretive? Why keep it secretive when you don't know, you know?
Yeah.
So
Grief didn't really work competitively.
No.
It's a fun competitive, but
absolutely.
It's not head to head.
It's what I think we were looking for.
You know what would be cool though? Actually, some things like gun game, you know, those kinds of things, a gun game or some sort of challenges like that. That actually works, where you got to get the most amount of kills. Things like that. I don't know if that would work.
I'm a really big fan into the obstacle course. Like there was a little parkour zombies map that came out recently, and I loved it so much. It was so much fun. You could just jump around, zombies would come after you, and like Liam, JC, and Azura and I played it. It was quite a bit of fun. But I think that's again a cool idea the zombies could go into. There's so many paths, but Treyarch just sits in the safe zone, and it drives me insane. I just can't.
I was talking about this with Milo, actually. He said, if you think about Treyarch, when they dropped zombies, it was this revolutionary new thing. They took this huge risk, and they went for it. And I think with where they're at now, they've basically taken that idea, gone as creative as possible, and I just think there's nothing else you could really do with that concept, the concept of what zombies is.
Yes, yeah.
So part of me feels that it would almost be smart for them to just say, screw zombies or screw what we have and let's try something different. I'm not saying let's do extinction mode or something like that, but they gotta take a risk.
And that's what I've been saying Zielinski's been doing for like since BO2. He's been saying like, yo guys, we need to change it up because the consumers are going to leave. And I think like Black Ops 3 was the game I was hoping it would happen, but if it doesn't happen in BO4, like or whatever the game's going to be called, who knows? I'm just saying, but I'm just gonna it's just gonna kill me inside. Like just seeing how like Treyarch progresses in BO3 and then Spaceland degresses and then Sledgehammer will degress and then it goes back up again. It's like it just drives me nuts because it's like what's gonna happen? And that's why these gap years, in my opinion, are just making everything worse. I made a video about this back in Zetsubo when Infinite Warfare was announced, and I was just like, guys, like the more zombie gap years we have, the more dragged down this like whole concept is gonna be, you know? Like it's just this like now it's just like this extra game mode. It's not really special, and it's just ugh, just drags it down. I dislike it. I don't know.
Right.
Don't know how
Okay.
else to explain or make it better. I don't
Let
know.
me pose this for you, right?
Mhm.
So, World at War drops, and
Mhm.
it was basically the introduction of zombies.
Yeah.
Nothing, it was just zombies. That was our base.
Mhm.
Black Ops 1 comes around. Um, New wonder weapons, new maps, bigger maps, more exciting maps, new
Mhm.
bosses,
Yeah.
Easter eggs. That was the big
Yeah.
thing that
That
was
was the big
introduced
thing.
though in Black Ops 1
BO1.
were Easter
Yeah.
eggs. Black Ops 2 comes around. They add quite a bit. They start adding buildable wonder weapons,
Mhm.
things like the retriever, right? So new specialist weapon, or not really
Yeah.
specialist, but what would become specialist
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah. The beginnings.
Different characters again, different styles, different themes, bigger, more ambitious maps. Black Ops 3 comes around. I mean, now you have really big, more ambitious maps.
Mhm.
But what did Black Ops 3 really add besides gobblegum and, I guess, specialist weapons?
Nothing.
It was
And
basically, like you said, story driven.
yeah. Yeah.
So, if you're Treyarch, where do you go from here?
Mhm. This is the thing because the last comic really has me questioning where they randomly introduced a room with Ted, the Golden Rod, and Origin Staff, and I think Blundell. I feel like this is him saying, "Yes, let's go this direction where the story doesn't matter. We can finally cater to the gameplay fans." But it's just I don't know what's ever going on with this guy because like it's just insane. I'll never understand. But one thing I want to also talk about is with the remasters, why I'm also a believer, is with the
It's going
remasters.
full circle.
I know we're going to full circle, but with the remasters, this will give custom zombies more assets. It will not give just the giant assets. There'll be an entire pool of assets they can go with you, and I think that will really help customs once it finally gets out of beta. And also, too, with DLC5, I just forgot my point. I don't know.
Why you're
but
a believer of DLC5?
yeah, I think just in general, it's just all this retconning that Jason Blundell is doing, all this different type of stuff. I'm just such a believer. He can't just be trolling us. And also, I remember my point. He had like if he releases it during the Infinite Warfare DLC cycle, there's gonna be like an interesting clash. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't know what's gonna happen because he's definitely said
Whoa.
2017 is the year. But who is it going to come out in the summer? Is it going to come out in April? Is it going to come out after the summer? Who knows? I don't know.
Dude, if he releases it in April, I'm gonna
Mhm.
be pissed. Because I'm going away in April. And if it's during that trip,
Mhm.
I gotta cancel it. I gotta cancel it. My girlfriend's gonna be pissed, but I'm like, listen, this is big. Um, like I said though, man, like I said, if they okay, how many maps do we have? How many zombie maps in total? We had 4 World at War,
From
6 Black Ops 1,
I think it's
6 Black
21.
Ops 2.
21.
Not counting Black Ops 3 though.
Oh,
16.
somewhere something around there.
16
16
plus
what?
16 plus town, bus depot, and farm.
So like almost 20.
Let's say
Yeah.
19. 19
Yeah.
maps. Okay. What if they did 1 map a month till Black Ops 3 comes out?
I'd be down. I think
That
whatever.
would keep zombies alive, man.
Mm.
But I just think, okay, we're gonna drop a map pack of even 4. Okay, let's say we get like the best 4 maps ever, like Origins, Mob of the Dead, whatever 2 other people. Like I think Origins and Mob of the Dead would be a safe bet, but 2 other maps, whatever the community likes most, maybe a Moon or something. Like what do I stream? What do I make
Yeah.
videos of? Now this is like it's
That's
like an
the
overload,
point.
right?
Yeah.
We're going
Well, do you remember when BO1 DLC4 came out? Do you remember that? I can't even remember what people
Oh.
streamed first.
Well, it
You
was
know?
Moon because that was
Was it Moon? Okay.
it had to be Moon because that was the new map, right? People
Mhm.
already knew all the other ones, but
Yeah.
Moon was the map that was actually
And
unique.
because of that DLC, I have a feeling they're not going to release anything World at War. Like I just
Yeah.
don't feel it. I can't feel it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's true. They've already remastered them once.
Like Yeah, and Darius has been remastered so many damn
Oh, of
times.
course. They couldn't
So
remaster Jarice again.
if they made a giant 2.0, imagine that. Like,
Yeah.
but
Okay. Can I just say something on the note of guns in Black Ops 3?
hmm,
I think that was they really went for it with guns. And I think it was one of the biggest failures. And the reason I say this is I can stream a map and play it normal. No, the views, whatever. But if I use the Black Ops 2 Zombies Guns mod, there's like another 1,000 people in there all of a sudden.
there you go.
And that's not a coincidence. Because this is what I truly think is that the Black Ops 2 box system was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, like Black Ops 1 and World at War, there's a couple good guns in the box. Everything else sucks. So you're probably getting bad guns, but you got to hit the box because all the wall weapons pretty much suck too.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So unless you got to get a commando, a Galil, like so you got to get something really good, or you're screwed. Black Ops 2, there's like a good balance. There's an SMR in there. There's a War Machine, the RPG. There's some like 5.7s. There's some not so good guns in there. There's also some amazing guns, right? You can get the Ray Gun Mark II or the Ray Gun. You can get the Blundergat. You can get the Death Machine, the LSAT, M27, Executioner, Python, Galil. A lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. But you're going to get something better from the box than you would from the wall. You can get decent wall weapons, like an AN-94. I mean, that's the exception, of course.
Yeah.
Black Ops 3, what they tried to do is you get a good wall weapon, right? So I've said this before. Treyarch thought that the Man of War was their best assault rifle. And the reason I know that is because on Shadows of Evil, in the pods, you can get a Haymaker, which is the best shotgun, Man of War, right? So, or a Bootlegger, which is the best SMG.
Or you can get the Ray Gun as well, right?
Or the Ray Gun, yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, they thought Man of War would be the best. So you can't buy the Man of War off the wall, but you can buy a slightly worse, which I think the KN is probably better, honestly.
Yeah.
But
true.
You know what I mean? Like they was like, okay, let's have the best guns in the box. So the Haymaker, the Brecci, but the wall weapons were only so slightly not as good that there is no point of hitting the box. Like Der Eisendrache, for example, all you need is like a KRM and a bow. You're good.
Yeah, you don't even. Yeah, exactly. Haymaker is irrelevant. Like everyone, when the map released, thought the Haymaker was going to be needed, but KRM is just as good.
KRM is
just
amazing.
as good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with you so much because I think BL3 really added this weird element to where the box wasn't even needed and it was just irrelevant, especially with things like Immolation. I think honestly that is the most game-breaking gobblegum in the game.
Bro.
Immolation is what ruined BO3 in my opinion because it's like what's the point of saving up points anymore? If you just get this gobblegum. Like I don't get that issue.
And us as YouTubers, I mean, we've ruined it because we've got all these amazing gobblegums. So I can go in a stream, shopping free, open up the entire map. Perkaholic, I don't need to buy perks, and an Immolation. I have my guns, and then rock a double point so I can pack a punch.
Or self-medication where you literally kill a zombie and you get revived, and it's like 3 quick revives in one gobblegum. Like that's the biggest issue.
What's the blue one?
The near-death experience.
That's even worse.
The most OP gobblegum in the game.
You can't die in boss fights with it.
Yeah. No. If you die with that gobblegum, you are. If you get a game over with that gobblegum, you are just the worst player ever. Like you deserve your down.
Is it even possible?
Like
if you don't have quick revive, I think it doesn't work. I don't know though.
So from what I know, it is basically. It lasts 3 rounds, so it's like an aftertaste, except way better. And if somebody downs near you, you revive them just by being near them. But if you have the gobblegum and you down, somebody just needs to come with you.
Yeah.
You get revived. Quick revive is not needed, and the gobblegum is worthless if you don't have a second player in your game. That's another thing. So,
no, dude.
Is it not? I'm not even sure.
Bro, no. This is what I'm saying. In solo. If you have quick revive, okay, so let's say I go into the boss fight and I'm like Timmy, who's 10 years old. I've never played that before,
Yeah.
I can beat that. I can beat that Easter egg. Okay, so what happens is you down, right? And you're getting revived because you have quick revive.
Yeah.
But because you have a near death
death?
experience,
Yeah.
your player counts because you're the only player in the game. You actually revive yourself.
I didn't even know that.
So, dude,
didn't even know
you
that.
can go into a boss fight because the round will never end, and you can down 100 times, and you can still beat the Easter egg.
That is
still beat the boss fight.
That is actually, I did not know that. I thought it was only self-medication that could help you out.
Yeah. No, so solo, it's only good for boss fights, obviously, because self-medication lasts until you down. This only lasts 3 rounds. But if you're at a boss fight where the rounds never end, what's the point?
That is stupid. Yeah, no, I didn't even know that. I think that's absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, you thought it was OP with 2 people, dude. It's worse with 1.
Remember the starting room challenge we did in Revelations?
Oh my God.
We almost got to round 50. I was just there. I'm like, guys, I'm just gonna use all my near-death experiences. I was just chilling. Every single round, you guys went down like 50 times. Don't worry, just sitting right here.
Here we go.
Like,
yeah.
like it was just so
the
dumb.
Thing about that was we didn't even use our good gobblegums. Me, Jack, and Matt, like Matt wasn't even there. He wasn't even ready. We just hit start. I was like, I'm not going to use my most OP. And then you came in with that and Perkaholic. You can't die. You just can't die.
You literally can't die. And that's why, like, the game has become, it's like pay to play better. I don't like to say pay to win because you can't win in zombies, but it's like pay to play better. Yeah. And I don't know. 2 last things I want to say before we end off. One, I forgot to say this, but I feel like the Giant, in terms of what is added as new content on the Giant, is kind of a framework of what we're going to be seeing if remasters come out, which is not a lot, to be honest. Annihilator, free perk, that's about it. I think that's the biggest extent they'll go to. They might retcon the Easter egg, which is basically rewriting it, but I think that's it. And the second point I want to say is I might be releasing my 1 mil really soon. I'm not sure. I think it's like there's one last thing I want to get right, and it's really hard to plan, and I've been trying to plan it, but I want to say it's going to be similar production value to the Shia LaBeouf the Cannibal. I actually contacted that guy, and he was like, dude, just go to this area. We can hook you up. We can get you some stuff. But that's all I'm going to say. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. But as soon as I get that done, the 1 mil special is complete. It's over. It's finished. So,
dude, I've said this before. There's no video on YouTube. I am more excited because I know what is coming.
Yeah,
and I know exactly what you still have to work on.
It's going to be sick. Yeah, it's going to be sick.
Dude, I'm gonna like actually have to sit down, get popcorn or something. See, man, that was the weird thing at the Z House, just wrapping this up, is like when you uploaded a video, we would all gather around on the TV and someone would airplay it and we would watch it.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, what's Lex uploaded today? That's the kind of video, dude. I want to I want to get a theater and screen this shit, man.
Well, that's why I've always liked that aspect. Like, I know a lot of people want more uploads and all this type of stuff, but I've always just wanted to make these like iconic videos. Like, I look back on the arriving at the Z House video, that shit was so funny.
Dude.
It's just stuff like that.
What a classic.
It's just a classic. Yeah. That's what I really love about it. One last thing I think before we end it up, a lot of people are spamming EE4C 2017. I think we should just touch on that a little bit. I think what's happening with that, I think right now we're not sure if it's going to be on IW, but from what I've heard, if it's on remasters, if they do come out, for sure it's going to be the remasters, without a doubt. Without a single doubt in the world. If that gets released as DLC5, for sure EE4C is coming out on that, without a doubt.
Dude, you know what would be really cool, I think, for EE4C is if we did, if we don't get the remasters, is if we did different games. I mean, I think that's where it's going, right?
Yeah.
So let's say we did Moon, Mob, Origins, Dreisendrach.
Yeah. I think it's going to end up like that. Yeah.
That would be unreal, man. To see Origins speedrun with 4 people. Oh my God, man.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I think it's for sure gonna be like that. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are also probably wondering about the people on it. I think JC for sure is getting on. I talked to Noah. He's like, yeah, JC, yeah. I
Azora,
don't
man.
know. Azura, I think as well.
Dude,
And
what's Azora up to? He hasn't been uploading.
he is just like I he's the funniest guy. I discorded him. I had a Discord call with Azura, and he's just mad depressed. I think the thing about him is just he looks at the community and what everybody's uploading, and he gets discouraged how almost it's identical to what everybody else is uploading. That's I think the thing that really gets him.
Yeah.
And he's in the situation like I am. I think we're the same age where he's in university. He's trying to figure out what he's doing. He took a year off because he thought zombies would be exceedingly on top like it was last year. And he was disappointed. And he's just, I think, in this really down mood. Yeah. So it's funny in a way, but it's also like quite sad. And that's why I think, don't feel bad for him. He's gonna come back. I know he is. He's just
feel bad because I know that feeling as a YouTuber.
Yes, yeah, and I've been
you just gotta disregard it and just stream, bro. Just stream. That's all you can do.
Stream or I think he wants to also kind of do what we're doing, just kind of branch off from the zombies community. His game would be. I talked to him. His game would be League of Legends. So you could obviously the complications with that and how it's not an FPS. So he's like, and he gets.
I feel that.
Yeah, and he gets the comments really get to him as much as they get to me, and probably as much as they get to you. So that's another thing. But yeah, he's coming back. So for people wondering, don't worry.
That's good. That's good.
He's chilling. He's chilling.
Yeah. Word, man.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is a lot of fun.
This is a good chat. This is the thing, man. It's so nice to just sit down uninterrupted and just hash out ideas.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I always hear people say after is they say man, this is something this is a format of content that I never do, and it allows people to put their ideas out there in a much bigger way that you don't see on YouTube a lot, right? Because normally, okay, I got to get this 10-minute video, I got to just put all the information in. But this kind of lets you just go with stuff and feel things out in a different way, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. So for people wondering, E4C, I know it's gonna happen. I just don't know what. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. But anyways, man, thank you for having me. This is my third, fourth time?
Bro, well, yeah, this must be your fifth time on your own.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
But then we also did the 2Z House. I think we did at least 2 episodes with you.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about those. The one I really remember is me, Dave, you, and was it Adam? The fourth?
Yes, that was episode 50.
Yes, 50. That was a favorite of mine. That was a good
classic.
One. I really like that one.
I think this year at the Z House, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I don't know if I'm gonna have a studio, but kind of just a setup where me and another person can sit down face to face and talk. Because it sounds like if we were to do it, we might have some probably have more guests over. So we could sit down and have a talk, and then I could have whoever's whoever comes to visit, could do that too. So I think that would be really cool to do real life podcasts.
That'll be really nice. I've seen a lot of, I don't know if you watch Baited or Catch 33. They're pretty big podcasts within the
I know
commentary community.
Yeah.
But Catch 33 is something that Colossal is Crazy made, and the editing is just superb on that podcast.
Yeah.
I give him so much credit. It's all animated. It's all well done. It's such a treat for people to watch. I think that is so cool. And just the aesthetic. I think you could really nail that aesthetic in the Z House. I think that would be so cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'd be a really awesome treat, I think, for everybody watching.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched Joe Rogan, but that's that's the goal. That kind of you're just sitting across from someone, both got microphones. Dude. Nothing better.
It's the best. I love podcasts and I'm like that, but it's good. But again, man, thank you for having me on.
Dude,
it's been a pleasure. Yeah.
Guys, you probably are already all subscribed to Lex, but if you're not, it's MrTLexify. I'm guessing 99% of people here are subscribed to you because we share. Yeah. But anyways, man, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
No worries. Yeah, it's been great. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for the chat. It's been a pleasure. Not too much dabs, so.
Dude, there was a lot of dabs at the start.
I saw that, but let's leave that back in 2016. 2016.
It died at the Z house. So
yeah. Yes. Please.
All right, guys. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. This is a new thing. We're uploading this on the second channel now. So
okay, nice.
So welcome everybody here. But that's pretty much it. We'll be back next week. Working on the guest. It's gonna be another big guest though if they come on. So anyways, see you guys later. Peace.